Good morning from Sarsen Farm, where Dan and Claire Kübler train, and we're going to give you a little bit of a tour as we walk of the place. Could you give us a bit of an overview of, I suppose, what we can see, but how this place has came to be what it is now?
Yeah, we bought it about 6-7 years ago. It was a really run-down old farmyard, and it was nice because it was a clean slate to start again and do exactly how we'd always dreamed of doing a yard design. So the horse was kind of central to the whole design, making sure it's really healthy. And as you'll see in a bit, there's like loads of views for the horses to look out, nice big stables, good airflow, and then lots of turnout as well. So yeah, it's really, really helped the yard and the team become and achieve the success we've had in the recent years. So it's been great.
Dan, could you pick up on maybe one of those points design-wise, what was important?
Yeah, so obviously the health of the horse is sort of fundamental to everything you do. A healthy horse is a trainable horse, is a happy horse. And so both mentally and physically, the whole layout of the yard was done so that there was very good airflow, because the respiratory system of the horse is really fragile. You know, they're athletes, they're being pushed right at the limits of their capabilities, and so they're very prone to respiratory illnesses and things. So keeping all the airflow really good and lots of ventilation is really important. So there's a lot of thought went into the design, and a specialist from Ireland looked at things and helped us tweak a few things in design, but also the atmosphere and the environment for the horses. So there's lots of research out there that shows that horses that can see more aspects, so the more windows you have, the more relaxed and happy they are generally. But just like people, some are more reclusive and they like a more isolated spot. So having that variety within the yard was important. And if we go into the barns, maybe we can see some of the different layouts, but you can see here the horses like to put their heads out over the doors and see out and sort of see what's going on and watch the world pass by. And so, you know, when they're training, it's important that the work is very good and high quality, but that relaxing and downtime is really important. And we've got some lovely paddocks up at the top, which we'll maybe go and look at a horse later on, where you can sort of see again that's that kind of mental aspect of keeping the horse happy and healthy. We've got very big boxes here, so yeah, all the stables are big, and again that's just really about welfare and keeping the horses happy and relaxed and able to move around plenty and socialise with their friends across the stable, because horses are very much herd animals. They live in groups in the wild, and that it's really important they can interact with other horses all the time. So all of those things just go into keeping the horse mentally happy, and then hopefully they'll give us more on the racecourse when they run.
And where are we now? What horses would be in these stables?
So we've got a real mix of horses. So these stables that you can see here are generally the older horses, and then the barn higher up is where the 2-year-olds would be. And we've got a real mix of sort of 3-year-olds and then older horses that have been around for a while. And you know, our whole training is really designed around developing horses through, but for the long term, so that they can race season after season and come back and you know, have plenty of good performances. So you know, we like to have them around for a while.
Is there something that you think has really helped your success you had last year? Something that you've worked on in particular, or you were always doing but it's come to the fore?
I think we've been building for a few years now. I mean, part of it was building this place and getting a team in here, and you know, we work very hard to keep our team happy, and they seem to enjoy working here. And you know, that sort of consistency of a team of people that, you know, we've all worked together now for a while, and you know, there's new faces as the number of horses has grown, but it's about having a team and a culture that love what they're doing and love the horses, and you know, all of that, it gradually builds and builds and builds, and you know, hopefully keeps leading to more and more success. So yeah, I think that sort of the environment and the culture and the team and that focus on horsemanship is really important.
You mentioned early festivals, the May Festival being one of them. You've had success at Chester. Percy's Lad's become a favourite of mine after I met him here, and then he went on to win last season. How might a horse kind of bring themselves to your attention as a Chester horse? If you're looking at the season now, I guess is a perfect time to think about it. What makes you decide he might be good for Chester?
I think part of it's about the races that are there. I think fundamentally the races, you obviously need a horse that can go around a turn and is sort of suited by that kind of racing, that doesn't mind getting in a bunch, or you know, so I mean, Percy's Lad's a good example. He's a horse who loves making the running, and it just, for him, it's about you know, he's run very well in some of those big straight track handicaps, but he just tends to just burn himself out a little bit. Whereas that, because he's always on the turn at Chester, it just allows the jockey to just hold on to some of that power until right at the end, and it just kind of relaxes and keeps him focused. So it often suits a horse like that. You know, an agile, balanced horse is what you're looking for. And yeah, I mean, you always need a bit of luck around there. But yeah, there's certain races that if they fit the horse and you've got the right type of horse, you know, it suits well. You know, the horses have got to be able to travel at pace around there. Really. I think that's the key thing. They've got to have a bit of speed.
Do any of the data points that you work with help identify a Chester horse? Basically, you want a speedy horse, I'm guessing. Someone that's quick out the gates.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of it's gate speed. A lot of it's a mentality, because it is such a big occasion. They do phenomenal at getting a great crowd there. It's a great atmosphere. So you just need horses that can also handle that. It's all very on top of them. It's actually quite a nice galloping track, really, isn't it? Yeah. Although you're always on the turn, you don't have to deal with undulations or quirks like that. And if you have that gate speed to get prime position, then catch me if you can.
Yeah.
It's slightly one of those, the turn is often, it's not probably as tight as people think, because you're always turning. It's a more gradual turn than, say, I mean, for example, I think Wolverhampton and Chester are almost the same length around. But Wolverhampton, you've got two very distinct bends, and Chester, you've got that long, you're always on the, so the angle of the turn is a bit less. So it's funny how a horse is different at it.
Do you think Percy's Lad's owner has a slight soft spot, given that he's been so good at Chester for now horses that he owns, that he wants to go back there?
Yeah, I think, I mean, owners tend to love winners wherever they are, but yeah, I think we had a very good day at Chester that day.
Percy's Lad, can he do it? He broke from stall 13 on the outside. He assumed control of the race very early on, and he's going to do it. Percy's Lad all the way for Richard Kingscote. Dancing Magic second. Then came Documenting, Al Zahir and Liamati Dreams close behind them.